Hey, probably too loud.
Yo.
Is everyone there? Is everyone? Earth, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hey guys. Is the sound all messed up, Justin? So this is the first time we're doing this, guys, so bear with us because we don't know how the video is going to turn out or the sound or anything. So we have Justin on with us, and he's going to ask the questions you guys are writing down. So
get some questions going.
Let's get some questions going. And hello, everyone.
First question, you knew that was going to happen. Killer and the Star going to do another album.
Killer and the Star will do another album at one point in my life, yes, for sure. And I only smoke in my house when the kids are gone out of town, so I'm not a bad dad.
You should be smoking, though.
I shouldn't be smoking at all, right? But
my mom died of lung cancer and she put your cigarette down.
I don't want to get into that right now, Justin. Would you like to tell everybody?
What about my dead mom and how cigarettes killed it? Sure.
Yeah, okay. Well,
okay.
Cigarettes are bad, okay?
Yeah, cigarettes are bad, drugs are bad.
Marlboro Lights, not that I'm sponsoring anybody, but...
Yeah, that's what killed my mom.
Oh, great. Great.
Let's see. Snowblind. Everybody wants to know about Snowblind.
Snowblind. Is there a delay on your thing, or is it just like, am I echoing the whole time?
No, you're okay right now.
Okay, and sorry for the glasses, guys, but if there's any kind of writing, I can't read because I'm old, so I have to wear glasses when that happens.
Sorry for the I'm wearing glasses.
Snowblind. So everybody's asking about Snowblind. The thing with Snowblind is we started doing the song on the last record. We wanted it to be on that record. It didn't really have time to set up because we wrote it a day before we were leaving the studio. So when we had toured, we wanted to do a great live recording of it and just strip it on the record or give it away to you guys. And that's initially what we had in mind. But as we're recording it, you know, certain nights came out well, certain nights came out decent, but none of them came out great. So at the same time, that song, it inspires me so much. I think that's one of the most prettiest songs that we've written with Cold ever. So it kind of started inspiring new music in a whole new record with that song. So I kind of opted to save the song for the next record. And I know that sucks because you guys can't really hear it until then, but I think it's worth waiting for Cold to save that one because it's a really inspirational, really beautiful song.
And nobody can find the lyrics online, right?
And nobody can find the lyrics. But, you know, if you guys want to hold you over, you can, if you find a good version on YouTube, just go to... what is it called, YouTube to MP3, and you can just download the song, the music from the video, and it's free, and you can at least have that to tide you over until, you know, the song is released.
Alright, how come you don't play a ton of songs from the first album?
How come we don't play a ton of songs from the first album? Well, you know, the thing we started, as we became bigger with Cold, we started... you know, the shows got bigger, there were more people there, and we really didn't hit like the mainstream thing and get bigger crowds at our shows until towards the end of Year of the Spider. I mean, towards the end of 13 Ways to Bleed on Stage, and then when Year of the Spider hit, everything went a little crazy. So what was happening is that we were playing these big shows. We were doing like Coliseums, opening up for Marilyn Manson and all these people, and Three Doors Down. And we would play a song from our first record. Nobody knew it. We got no reaction. So it started wasting our time up there to play the songs that people actually were wanting to hear at that time. So when we started doing tours on our own, the same thing kind of happened. We would play some songs from the first record, and maybe 10 people out of 1,000 that were there knew what the song was. So we kind of just, you know, we'll throw one in there every now and then, and you know, it would be great one day to do all the records, like do one big long Cold show and play all the songs and all the records. But we really haven't had that chance yet since we restarted everything. The longer the shows, the longer the set. I think if we have a long set and we are able to do it, we would definitely play songs from every record.
All right, here's an interesting one for you, especially since you're such a PlayStation guy. Do you know how Happens All the Time ended up on the very first Xbox 360s?
Do I know how it ended up there?
Yeah.
Well,
That's the question.
have you ever heard of, like, dwarfs? You guys ever heard of dwarfs? I'm fixing to get all Charlie Sheen on you guys right now. Little dwarfs picked up the song, took it to PlayStation, and submitted it, and it got set up. I actually had no idea how that song made it to PlayStation.
No, it was on the early Xbox 360s years ago. It was built in, like it had a couple songs built in.
Very cool. That sounds like a big Geffen Atlantic type thing, record label business move. Yeah, that sounds like someplace that had money to spend on cold.
All right, another one that everybody's been asking, the B-side album. Songs like Came All the Way, My Mind, anything like that. Gonna happen?
Well, the problem with doing the B-side albums as they are right now, all the B-sides, a lot of artists when they get a record label, they maybe switch the labels throughout their career maybe once. With Cold, we had come from Flip, and then we merged with Flip and A&M, then we merged with Flip and Geffen, and Flip and, you know, it was then Atlantic. It was like, it's an insane amount of political bullshit to get all the rights from all these different labels to actually put a song up like that. But I think what would be awesome if we could take all the B-sides and just go in a room one day and re-record them. We're totally allowed to do that. So it would be awesome to do a kind of, you know, not a full production thing, but kind of like doing demoing and doing all the B-sides and re-recording it, and then we could release them. You know, I think that would be a good option. But, you know, just like this with the acoustic record, we've always wanted to do an acoustic record. We've always wanted to play with an orchestra. You know, we've been preemptive sometime and said that, you know, of course, yeah, we want to do an acoustic record, and hopefully we can have it out by in a couple of years. That always falls through because, you know, new records come out, new tours, and there's never really time or the money to do something like that at the level that we want to do it at.
All right, next question. What bands or artists influenced you? Past, present.
Well, I mean, when I was a kid, it was definitely all kinds of music. It was 80s. You know, I was born in 1970, so when I was a teenager, it was 80s. It was all kinds of, you know, The Cure was huge. That was a big inspiration for me. The Police, Rush was probably the coolest band I ever heard when I was a little kid. You know, Sam's a big Kiss fan. Now I kind of just, I like to experiment with all kinds of different music, and I don't really care. Sometimes I'll just get on iTunes and flip through stuff, and if I haven't heard of it, it's cool. I'll check it out and see if it's any good. But that's basically how I find all my new stuff now.
I know you like Explosions in the Sky. That's
Explosions in the Sky, yeah, they're super dope. So we've actually used them on a Killer in the Star and a Cold intro before we get on stage. It's very emotional, very cool music. They did the whole soundtrack for a movie called Friday Night Lights, which the music on that is just insane. So.
All right, let's see. Has Sam ever been left behind at a truck stop?
Oops. Somebody that knew us asked that one, right? Yes. Sam got left at a truck stop one time. It was earlier on in our career. I think Jeff Head was tour managing us, and he forgot his. He got off the bus one night to use the bathroom. It was super late. All he had on was cut-off shorts. I don't even think he had shoes on when he went into the truck stop to use the restroom. But when he came out, he had left his phone on there and everything. And the trick is, when you're on tour, if you leave the bus and the bus driver and everybody's sleeping, if the bus driver's off the bus, you got to take your pass off your neck or your belt and put it on the bus driver's seat so he knows somebody's in the truck stop and he won't leave. So Sam neglected to do that. I went into the truck stop. I remember us all waking up at like 7 o'clock one morning, and somebody came to my bunk and was like, dude, where's Sam at? And we had been driving already about 6 hours, so we were almost to the venue. And I was like, he's in his bunk sleeping. And they were like, no, he's not. And they were like, what happened to him? And so we're all jump up, and Sam's on the bus, and he ends up being 5 hours away from us, with no money, no wallet, no ID, no nothing. And just to remind you, a pair of shorts at a truck stop. And Sam, that was like Year of the Spider era, or no, 13 Ways era, so definitely had leopard print or some kind of crazy hair going on. And what happened is he didn't know what to do. He couldn't call anybody. He didn't know anybody's number, no money. So he started asking truckers if they could take him if they were going the way of our show. And they were all kind of scared of Sam because of the way he looked. And they were like, no, don't take that guy. And so this guy ends up taking Sam. He's super cool. He had like a little dog, and the dog had a garter on his neck, and the guy was like a big, I forget the whole story. Sam's better at this, but I just know that this dog sat in Sam's lap the whole trip with a big boil on the side of his neck that ate cheeseburgers. And it was an interesting ride for him. But yeah, it was pretty amazing that, you know, he even got back to us that day and made the show.
All right. Here's a question that I think a lot of people don't know the answer to. Why is your name Scooter?
You know, my parents grew up at the beach, and they were like surfer people and stuff like that. So a few people back in the day had strange names. My parents like to say, because when I was a kid, I hauled ass around the house so much on my knees and hands that they could never like get me, so they called me Scooter, and that's kind of how that happened, I guess. It's not too cool, but it's Scooter, so what do you do?
All right, tour. What's going on with the new tour?
Touring. There are no plans for tour right now. I don't know if you guys know, but Sam and Georgia had a new addition to their family recently, so we had taken a break to let him have that family time, because as you guys know, we've been playing and touring forever, so to have that little time with a new addition for him meant a lot. So, you know, and we're with 10th Street and 11/7 Records, so I'm sure, you know, after the song is released. By the way, the American Dream video should be released this week on Vivo. So,
you dropped it?
Yeah, I dropped the bomb.
Okay.
So that's going to be coming out this week too. So you guys will finally be able to see that video. It'll be going radio, you know, after that, and then, you know, we'll make plans for touring and everything else for possibly in the future. So.
All right. A lot of people ask who you'd like to tour with.
Who would I like to tour with? I don't know. You know, it's strange. I've always wanted to just, you know, us and the Deftones, us and the Cure. Would be a great tour. But I don't know, you know, I don't know.
Would you ever re-release the Grundig album, early Grundig stuff?
It sounds so bad. The production of it is so horrible. You know, there definitely is. There's a record called Grundig Live at Fury's. It was like an EP that leaked out. I know a bunch of you guys have it, and the way that sounded was good enough. You know, but the recorded tracks from Grundig, when we did Into Everything, you know, they just don't add up. It just doesn't sound that great. So it would be kind of embarrassing for us to put it out. Although I know everybody would like to hear it, I don't see that happening.
All right. Somebody wants to know, do you think you'll ever get the chance to play Bleed with Aaron Lewis live?
Well, we have. Me and Aaron have played Bleed together live a lot of times back in the day. I mean, you got to remember when after 13 Ways to Bleed on stage, it seemed like us and Staind were on tour for 3 years together. And us, Staind and Godsmack, mainly, we toured forever together. And then it was just us and Staind, and then we'd get off tour towards somebody else and go back with Staind. So we definitely have played that song together before. And it would be awesome, of course, to play it again.
Alright, if you can give advice to your former self, what would it be?
Slow down.
Slow down, Scooter.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Let's see, a lot of people writing in. Seven Dust mentions they really like your music. Are you guys friends with them?
Stage fright. I see somebody asked about stage fright. Do you ever struggle with stage fright? If so, what helped you overcome it? Alright. Not really stage fright, but there's something like every night, you know, I figured after playing thousands of shows, everything would be better. I wouldn't get nervous before I got on stage. But I get so nervous before I get on stage, I still get sick before each show. Sometimes I won't eat all day trying not to get sick, because when you get sick right before you walk on stage, your throat is just burning. So it takes a couple songs to get it back to normal. But yeah, I can't do anything about stage fright. It's always going to be there for me, I think. And it's not really stage fright, it's just kind of, I always try to be poetic about it and say I'm like releasing the demons, you know, before I get on stage to obtain all the new ones with the songs again. So, but that's not the case. It's basically me just being nervous as hell.
Alright, what was the inspiration behind The Killer and the Star? And will Michael Harris be working with him again?
MH is probably, I mean, on that record, the bass tracks he did were just insane. So, he's a great musician, awesome person. I would love to work with him again on another Killer and the Star record for sure.
Let's see. What movies have you been watching lately? What can you recommend to people?
I don't know if I could recommend anything recently, so nothing's really been that great.
What usually runs through your head when you're on stage?
Why is everybody looking at me? No, you know, different emotions, on stage when you're on tour for a certain amount of time, you know, you carry with you what's going on in your life right then. At the same time, you're trying to be to the songs of this, you know, everything's supposed to melt together and be okay. So, you know, different nights, different things. Some nights...
And what catches your eye in the crowd when you're on stage?
Everyone catches my eye in the crowd?
What catches your eye? Is there like one thing in particular that catches your eye?
Not really. You got to remember, when there's lights, you know, coming at you, basically the most you only see is the first 2 or 3 rows of people. So not much really catches your eye, and I try not to focus on, you know, things too much. I try to focus on the songs and the lyrics and the music. So I kind of go into a step out of myself, and I don't really remember things. Like when I come off the stage, I can't really tell you how the show was, or we always have to wait till Matt comes in, our sound Jedi, and, you know, comes on the bus after he's wrapped up everything, and then give us a nod, or that sucked. So, yeah, I never know. So.
All right. Something else that a lot of people speculated about online. Have you gotten voice lessons, or give them an idea of basically how Superfiction was recorded, and maybe heard some misconceptions to sleep?
No, I haven't had any voice lessons, but thanks, I guess. Yeah, it's just, you know, the throat is an instrument, and it's a muscle. You know, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. The reason the voice sounds a little different on, you know, previous records than the older records is, you know, I was unhealthy back then, so, you know, I didn't care what my voice sounded like. I didn't care how it came across. I just walked up to the mic and kind of spit on it. Which, you know, to me, listening back to those records, it's kind of hard for me to hear them, because it just sounds so unlike what I wanted to do. Throughout my whole life when I was a little kid, I didn't want to put a record out that sounded like that. It impacted a lot of people and made people feel everything, but it was pretty ill. So
That being where you are in your life right now, to feel to have helped and saved so many people.
How's it feel? It feels amazing. I mean, that's like the best thing that you can do. Like if you can, it doesn't matter in music if you make money, if you have a bunch of Facebook fans. The thing that matters most is that you affect people, and you can maybe help change their life and help things be a little better. Because I know music did that to me when I was a little kid, and still do to this day. So that's what we wanted to do with Cold in the first place, and we did that from the first record on, and it keeps happening. So if it all ended tomorrow, what a great career thing we did. I mean, with our career, we did everything we wanted to do. We changed people's lives and helped them through hard times, and that's really all that you can ask for as far as being a musician, is for people to feel your music and it may have helped them.
That's something not a lot of bands can say. So.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what everybody says, that not a lot of bands can say that, but I'm sure every band has one song that can maybe do something like that for somebody. So, we just have to we have a lot of those songs. So, it's a blessing.
Okay, out of all the past tours you've ever been on, is there a particular favorite?
Past tours that we've been on is a particular favorite. All of them were awesome. The bigger tours were great. The smaller tours were great. Marilyn Manson tour was cool to kind of go and watch the circus every night after we got off. Marilyn would come on. That was amazing. Three Doors Down tour was very cool. The first time I got to meet like really big rock stars that were super nice and genuine people and actually cared about other people. So there's little things that stand out, But all the tours in themselves, at the end of them, they were all. We've had a chance to play with some of the best bands in the world and go to places that no one's ever been to, play music. It's amazing.
Do you prefer small venues or big venues?
Either. It doesn't matter. I definitely like the bigger venues as far as the production you can have and the bigger things, on stage with you and the banners and the lights and all that stuff. But there's something said about, just playing a club and being intimate like that too. Neither really affects me any differently when I walk on the stage. If it's small or big, it doesn't matter. Same feeling every time.
Alright. Do you feel that every time you play a song, it's less memorable to you? Does it mean a little less?
Every time we play a song, does a little part of the song die?
Yeah.
No. I think it all, because I think as we're playing the songs, everybody in the, with Sam and Jeremy, they were there back then when all that stuff was going down. So I know in their minds, as they're playing it too, even though if you don't want to think about it, there's always these little snippets of the past that come into you as you're playing that. I'm really not sure how to end that question. I got probably strayed from it.
Alright, our friend Dimitri asks, what's your thoughts on the current music industry, where it stands now with artists like, Adele topping the charts, staying top in the rock charts?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's, it is what it is. My thoughts don't change what it is or what it's not or what it could be. The rock industry definitely seems to be on a downward spiral, but this is just a phase. You got to remember, throughout my life, rock music has came and went. It's popular, then it goes away, and then it comes back. You'll have a band like Nirvana come up, and then everything gets started again. It's just a cycle of music, which is like the cycle of life. Everything just keeps evolving, and I'm sure heavier music will come back and be, on the forefront again at one point. But there's tons of good music everywhere else too. So, you just got to know what to look for. Don't fall for the garbage.
Not the damn garbage. Not shit on that, right?
No, I like that band actually.
Yeah, me too. All right. Jacqueline, who's really cool from the board, she's saying, will you say hi to Corbin and Gabe, her two boys? They're intently watching.
Well, hey, Corbett and Gabe, how are you? Did I say that name right?
Yeah, yeah.
Have fun, guys. I don't know what you're doing, but if it's past your bedtime, get to bed.
Yeah. Good thing you're not cursed.
Yeah. I haven't cussed him.
Terry.
Do I see? You know, Terry's on tour with Evanescence right now, but we text back and forth and talk sometimes when he gets back in town. And yes, Terry is a good friend.
Okay. Any ideas as far as the next Cold album goes? Will it be more along the lines of super fiction? Do you go in a completely different direction, or do you think it'll be more old school?
Old school, new school, that never matters when we go in to write a record. I think the bands that go in to write a record like an old record that they had done because some band said they wanted them to sound like that, or a new record, you know, I think you should just go in and write what you've done. It's the way you wrote those records was just going into a studio and busting it out, you know, letting it flow, and what comes out of you comes out of you. So I think we will just keep that kind of train of thought when we're going to write. We just sit down and write what makes us feel, and that's the best thing to do. To be pigeonholed into something and try to create the same project over and over again would just be the worst thing that could ever happen to me. I might as well sell out and just do cover songs.
Alright, let's see. Have you written any new songs since Superfiction?
Well, Snowblind. And
Snowblind, taken for soundtracks potentially, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been messing with some stuff. We're doing a new thing with What Happens Now right now also, so that'd be a surprise maybe that comes up in the next couple of weeks.
Alright, somebody asked, can you explain the meaning behind Tell Me Why?
Tell Me Why. I think that, didn't we describe, you guys know that, right? It's
Some people.
Yeah, you know, we had a fan that you know, I always talk to our fans before shows and after shows, and sometimes it gets a little personal, and they go into this other world and tell me what's going down. And this young girl came up. She had followed us around to a bunch of shows, so we knew something was wrong. We were like, she's always by herself. It's kind of scary. So we started talking to her to try to get to know her a little bit, to just see if she was safe and okay. So she had told us about, you know, her father being a bad man. He did bad things to her, the worst possible things, of course. So, you know, I felt compelled to write a song for her. So it came out, Tell Me Why.
Skittles or Starburst?
Starburst. I actually just had this discussion recently with my wife. Starburst, it's just every time you put that damn thing in your mouth, it's like a summer surprise or something. I don't care how you're feeling, that's always a good feeling in your mouth. Yeah, did I say that out loud?
What are your hobbies outside of music? Besides putting Starburst and just letting that steamer explode in your mouth?
Yeah. Hobbies outside of music. I'm very boring. I skateboard sometimes. I used to surf a lot. I'm going to start surfing again this summer. But mainly nothing. You know, I spend time with my family. We like
a lot of people who've never been to a cold show before get nervous and they want to know where they can meet you. And probably one of the best places, you know, if not after the show, is before the show, because they can sometimes find you skateboarding around the parking lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy to meet us. You know, everybody's always like, am I going to be able to meet them? And do I got to get this? Do I got to get that? It's like every show we play, it's always come to the show early or stay after the show and hang out by the bus for a minute. We'll always come out and say hello. I mean, I think that is what you're supposed to do. You know, you guys traveled a long way to see us and have been waiting months, and it's only right.
All right. You playing Modern Warfare 3 at the moment?
No, I'm not.
Playing anything at the moment?
Tiger Woods right now. But yeah, I just got, what's the game I just got, Justin? What was the one, the last Modern Warfare type game I got? There's so many of them, I forget. Black Ops.
Black Ops, yeah, Black Ops.
Yeah, that's the one I just finished.
Alright. Going down. How many spider tattoos do you have?
How many spider tattoos? I have one spider tattoo on my back.
Okay.
Like a tramp stamp, yes.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Alright, what's the song She Said about?
Shoot, that's a long time ago. I'd have to dive back into that song to even remember what that song's about. Sounds like a relationship to me.
People are asking for your PlayStation 8, but you're probably pretty private.
Oh yeah, I've never actually played online one time my whole life. I'm always just a solo guy. I like to just sit and play the game by myself. Like I've never gone online with a game. That's the age difference right there, Justin.
Between who?
Between me and our fan base that play PlayStation. Yeah, I'm old. They don't remember that.
Let's see. Now we got a lot of PlayStation talk. Alright, if you had to choose a favorite B-side, what would that be? A song that maybe you look back on and felt maybe should have made it onto the album.
There were like 3 we did all together. It was Ross Robinson. It was like Ghost in Here, Bizarre, and one more. But those 3 songs should have been recorded and released at one point.
Live DVD. Any plans for a live DVD?
Yeah, again, that's something that we've always wanted to do. It costs a lot of money to get the production to do the cameras and the sound, totally badass. So.
What almost happened back in October?
Why?
The casino show.
The casino show, true, but I mean, still, we wanted to maybe do that, but you're talking about to do a real live, great video, we'd have to have like 5 cameras running all around the place, have a crane going up and swooping down. It would be a great thing to do. If we could ever do it, we definitely would.
Do you want to tell people your idea for what you want to do with Super Fiction and the orchestra?
No, I mean, we just want to do the whole record of Superfiction with an orchestra playing the music, us playing along with them. I think it would be a cool thing to do, but, it's another dream.
That's right, going back to the casino show, a lot of people asking when that's going to be rescheduled. Is it going to be rescheduled?
They said it was rescheduled. They're saving it for this Halloween, so that's what's going on with that show.
Okay. Would you mind if a band covered any of your songs for an EP? Probably would mind.
I mean, as long as you have to, with stuff like that, protocol is you have to get with the management company and get the band to sign off on it, so it's okay. But I think it's not a hard thing to do. As long as the band went through the right procedure to do the songs, I think it would be cool.
Any advice for those trying to break into the music industry?
Social networking is a huge thing. So I guess that's the main thing you have to adapt into your lifestyle if you want to progress in today's music industry. As far as the band side of it, I think, the hardest thing we seem to have with bands in Jacksonville are bands actually staying together. And, if there's something, they're about to get signed, they don't get signed, and everybody splits up, you just give up the dream. We never quit. We just always kept going until we got signed. We didn't take no for an answer. We'd had other people say no, and you just let it go and keep playing.
All right, here's one. Somebody asking about your daughter, since you mentioned how talented she is. Would you ever have her play piano on a cold song?
I actually asked her to play on a cold song this time, but I think she wasn't here. She was back in Arizona, so the timing changed, and we weren't allowed to have her, or we weren't able to have her play on the song. But yeah, that would be awesome one day. She's a way better piano player than me, so I'm sure she'd make it sound pretty.
Okay, Doug keeps asking, what is the song Sick of Man about?
Sick of Man is just about the way people treat you. You know, back in the day, it's just, you know, everybody has their depressing times in life. You have your good times, your bad times. I just went through a bad time in my life, and it seemed like the world was just heavy, and the people around me were pricks. So, you know, it kind of came from that.
Here's just, a lot of people ask this. It's going to be difficult to answer. Favorite song on any Cold album?
Yeah, no favorite song. That always rotates. Like when we're writing a new record, whatever song's on the new loop. Like if we just finished "Came All the Way" that day, or "Stupid Girl" that day, or "What Happens Now" that day. Like whatever day we're done doing that song, that's our favorite song at the time. And then after, you know, while we're going through the process of getting the record ready for distribution, we listen to it repeatedly, trying to find the single and, you know, where we can make it better and stuff like that. And the songs change on a day-by-day thing, and that kind of goes through all our records. Like I don't think anybody in our band has a favorite song. I do love the "Year of the Spider." You know, isn't that the Winter's Rain thing? That song. I forget the name of it.
What'd you say? Say lyrics.
Black Sunday.
Remy.
There you go. Thank you very much, Black Sunday.
Yeah. What is your relationship with Kelly Hayes?
I haven't spoken to Kelly in a long time. You know, ever since he left the band. I know he's still good friends with Jeremy. But we just, you know, I'm kind of a recluse. I kind of stay at home to my own when we come home. I don't go out or really have an outside life outside my family. So I don't see anybody or anything like that. It's pretty horrible. I should start being a part of normal society. Was the new vocal style on Superfiction a conscious choice or by accident? No, I just accidentally sang better.
With auto-tune.
Yeah, I like the with auto-tune thing. That's hilarious. Killer in the Star, you can tell there's auto-tune on that record. On this record, there is no auto-tune. There are effects. There is reverb. There is doubling. You know, sometimes when you triple and quadruple vocals, it gives it that kind of effect. You know, so I think that's where people are misled. And you know, it's just, you know, you got to. If you were a producer or a musician that had done records, you would definitely know that there was no auto-tune used. But people like to take shit and run with it.
All right. Any chance that there'll be cold songs on Rock Band?
I don't. Is there Rock Band anymore? Is there even a Rock Band thing going on?
Yeah. Songs still released weekly.
They're still released weekly online. I think me and you were talking about that, Dustin. We were going to try to submit some songs and get them on Rock Band for everybody. Yeah, that would be cool. I do like the Rocksmith thing, though. This person.
Yeah, I tried every weekend to keep getting an error message.
The cool thing about Rocksmith, though, is it shows you how to play the guitar. So that's like you can use your own guitar. I think that's way cooler.
Yeah, but Rocksmith didn't sell that well. A lot of people don't have their guitars.
Well, I noticed there wasn't a lot of bands on there either. You only have a choice of like about 20 songs or something on Rocksmith or something. It's kind of weird.
And the stuff they release online is some stuff like Blink-182, you know.
Yeah, but it's a good idea, and I could see that maybe being cool in the future for sure.
Did you guys make it on the new Spider-Man movie?
No, we did not.
Does that disappoint you?
You know, shit happens. It's what it is. It's you do something hoping for the best, and sometimes things don't happen. But it's just life. You wake up the next day and do more things.
Okay. People are saying fuck Spider-Man, which I agree with. What else? What else do you and I talk about? People should know.
I don't know. What did you just say?
I said, what else should people know that you and I talk about?
Well, I don't know. They should ask questions.
Yeah, but last questions, come on.
Is there a song you listen to when you need to cheer up? Not really. What inspired The Killer and the Star was just me being kind of, when Cold split up, I was so bored. I didn't know what to do. So I love writing music and keep going. So I started getting all these songs together, and before you know it, I had like 20 of them. So I was like, sounds like I should make a record. And I just thought it was a cool idea to kind of do something new, because The Killer and the Star was definitely an alternative record, and definitely, even though there's little parts of Cold in there, I deliberately made sure it wasn't as Cold related as possible. I didn't want to do one of those bands where you write the same kind of music. So it was experimental, it was fun, and it's a great thing to do. And that record actually now kind of has like a cult following thing going on with it, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah, we talked about that. What is the second Kenji symbol on your arm?
Which second Kenji symbol?
I don't know, what was the second one? What was the first one mean? And what was the second one mean?
Oh, well, there's Year of the Spider, is what one of them means. There's two together, meaning Year of the Spider, and then there's a Cold symbol.
Any plans for more collaborations? Will Sierra be on the next record?
Oh, I was just talking about that the other night. I think it would be awesome for me and Sierra to do, like, how all these bands right now have these just two people in them, like a guy and a girl going up and doing songs and stuff. It would be cool if me and Sierra did like a little EP of a brand new music just together. I think we'd write songs well together. I think, with you guys heard You Got Away, that was a great one. So she basically wrote that song. I just added the vocal to it, but I think if we took that kind of vibe and created a little EP out of it, it'd be dope.
All right, when you're on stage, do the flashes from the cameras ever bother you?
No, flashes never bother me.
Cool. Any chance for more pianos or strings on the next album?
Yeah, I think every record so far has had piano and strings on it. The first record, of course, you couldn't really hear it because we had made the piano sound so crazy and, strings and stuff that you can't really tell what it is. But every record after that definitely had piano and strings in it. So I think that's going to be a staple to every Cold record. And it has been.
Snowblind has strings, right?
Snowblind, yeah, for sure.
Justin told me that Supergirl isn't a band favorite. Why is that? Or is that true even?
It was for a minute. I think the Supergirl thing was me being young, and, I was upset about it because the fans hated it when it first came out. At least the hardcore fans hated it. Most people liked it. That's why that record sold so much. But, so I kind of got defensive about it a little bit because I was so tired of, explaining the story and saying stuff and trying to it just was too much. I was like, good God. I was like, Rivers was the reason I started playing guitar. He was one of the guys. I mean, the reason I got a lightning bolt strap like he had when I saw the first Weezer video when I was younger. He was just a big influence on my whole music styling and everything that I do. So for me to be able to create a song with that guy, it was probably the coolest thing that's ever happened in my career. He's a super sweet person, super awesome guy, and a great songwriter. So just to be in that presence of that and to have that happen, you're a kid one day, kind of like you're dreaming about hanging out with your favorite rock star, and not only was I hanging out with the guy, I was writing a song with him. So it was a time in my life that I'll never take, I'll always remember that, and I think it was very awesome. And instead of, like with me firing back and saying things right when it came out because the fans were dissing it, was wrong. I was acting like a child.
Alright, here's a good question from, where'd it go? from Doyle Hancock. What can we do to help Cold grow?
We do seem to have that problem with Cold, don't we, guys? It's like whatever. It's like our MySpace page back in the day. Even though we were selling 500,000 records, our MySpace pages were only like 60,000 people, and now we moved to Facebook. We find the same thing going down with that, and maybe we're just not the band to have, you know, tons of fans and likes and stuff like that. Maybe we're just the band that, you know, people just like. So I don't know. I would implore everybody to help us and, you know, get the word out and do what you do. I mean, you know, Justin sends out orders and stuff and asks for people to, you know, try to share Cold. So just keep doing that as much as you can. That's all we can all really do. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a like button on a Facebook page.
Apparently, Uordom only has less than 2,000 page likes. I guess that should make me feel good.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Here's where I'm going to get in front of everybody and guilt you into sending me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People are waiting for t-shirts to arrive from the street team. Don't you have those? You're sitting right now, ready to send to me in New York?
Actually, I do, and I contacted management to send me a slip so I could get everything out to you guys, so I'm pretty much waiting on that.
Okay. That's on camera now, you know?
No, I know.
Okay. Because I'm out of street team stuff.
Yeah.
People joining in late. It's the last move on the tour.
Would you ever let a fan join you on stage? Actually, we did let a fan. Oh, Sarah, anyways, this is Sarah, the girl that did the acoustic songs for Cold. Not for us. She actually did them on herself, but I saw a video, and I wanted her to do a few more of the Cold songs, so I'm still waiting for her to get back to me on that, so you guys can hear it. But she does a great acoustic versions of these songs. And of course, Sarah, you could join us on stage and play with us one night too. But yeah, we just did that on the last tour. Actually, we were like in Texas, and this dude comes up and asks me if he could. It was a special day for him, and he asked if he could sing on the song. So yeah, we let him do it. It was cool, and he actually did really good. He did a great job at it. I think he did Suffocate with us.
Some people have asked on the boards, I know, is Drew ever going to be a permanent member of the band?
Well, Drew's he's got his own band called Bad Access. And when he came in to help Cold out, we just kind of were going, it was definitely me, Jeremy, Zach, and Sam. And we had gotten so tired of exchanging, adding a new member and then saying they were a new member. And then them coming out on the road and finding out it wasn't what they wanted. So then they'd leave, and then we had to go through the whole big hoopla again. So we found it better just to have somebody come out and play with us, not really brand them as the new member of Cold, so we don't have to go through all that. And what's up, Scooby? You want to see everybody?
See your dog.
You want to see people? Look, this is my better half, Scooby, who was named from Cameron. And he's the Toto dog, so he's very cool. Although he has not saved me from any witches of the music industry yet, have you? You have not. You're not doing your job, Toto. You saved me from the industry.
Do you have any other pets? Someone
What's slow? What's going on? He looks like Chewbacca. We should get him some Chewbacca gear.
Probably have that, don't you?
For the dog? No. It's good. That's a nice present you could send me, Justin. Thank you.
Yeah, I've never sent you any Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, you never sent me any. Oh, yeah. Jason sends me Star Wars stuff. I get every 2 weeks I get new Star Wars stuff from Justin, so it's very awesome.
Here's a good one. I think, favorite classic horror film?
The Shining. As far as the best classic horror film, it's The Shining and Halloween.
Where does Omen 2 fit in there for you?
Omen 2 is definitely there too. Those three were definitely the movies that I would watch. I'd probably watch Omen 2 first, out of all three.
Alright, did you and Amy Lee ever make up? People still think you hate Amy Lee and you're all vendetta out against her. Did you ever make up, maybe?
We never really got in a fight.
Right.
I mean, so...
Like, how that wasn't really...
I think the media made that way worse than it was. I remember coming home one day and on MTV, Kurt Loder was doing the special Interrupt Bulletin thing saying, you know, Amy Lee said Scooter was going to rehab in a Australian interview, and Cold's firing back at Amy Lee now, which we had never done. We never did anything. So, and you know, as far as Amy's part in that, she was really just, you know, Terry was touring with them, so she was really just telling people what was going on. And they made it into like a war. European press likes to do that. I remember when we first started, when we went to Europe, they always tried to get me to say stuff about Fred or John from Korn, or, you know, stuff about Stain. Like, they always try to get you to spark something so it starts controversy, which we just have always been kind of quiet about. So even with the Amy Lee stuff, you know, we kept quiet. It wasn't an issue. It was, I had personal problems that I had to deal with, and I dealt with them. And, you know, whatever happened in the media world with Cold and Evanescence was totally just a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, Amy Lee is totally cool. She's a good person. She's a great person. Terry is in her band. I mean, she takes care of my boy. How can I not love her?
Let's see. Cold and Evanescence touring together would kick ass.
Yes, I think it would be very awesome. Actually, me and Terry talked about that in December.
Yep.
So.
Let's see. Would you ever consider collaborating with Lisa Geyer?
I don't know who that is.
Me neither. That's why I asked.
Well, they need to let us know who is Lisa Geyer.
Yeah, who's Lisa Geyer? We're going to be missing out on some awesome music.
Yeah.
What was your reaction when you heard one of your songs get played on the radio for the first time?
What was the reaction? It was one of those things where you don't know what to feel because it seems so surreal when you first hear your song on the radio. Like, I was just telling my wife the other day, it was funny because now when you hear your song on the radio, it doesn't feel the same. You know, it's just like, oh, another day at work kind of thing. But that first time you hear your music go to radio, it's super surreal, and you don't really believe it's happening. And you know, when you stop to think about all the ears that are listening to it, it's very strange, but very awesome.
Do you have any other side projects besides Killer and the Star?
No, I think, you know, just doing the Killer and the Star. The thing with Sierra would be dope, but you know, that could always be a part of Killer and the Star too. The Killer and the Star, the great thing about it is it was just basically me, so I can form it into whatever I want to at any time. And I think that's the thing that we should do with that band.
What do you think about Spotify?
I just heard about Spotify a couple weeks ago. I know Jeremy and Zach had did some Spotify stuff. I have not even logged in. I don't even know what that is about at all. I assume you make a playlist and everybody gets to hear the music that you listen to.
Yeah, you just post it to your wall and basically let people know what you're listening to.
So I guess that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. On the next Killer and the Star album, without the auto-tune again.
Mm-hmm. What? If we were going to use auto-tune on the next Killer and the Star record? I don't think so. I mean, the only reason it was used on that record is because just the vibe of the songs and the way it was, and what we wanted to make it a little more alternative, a little different, and didn't want to make it another sad, sappy rock song. So, you know, it was what it was, and it seemed to be the new technology of the moment, so we kind of just used it, you know. Maybe there'll be something new on the next Killer and the Star record that's coming out and innovative in the music industry.
The chick singer we were trying to figure out, she's on Sully Ernest's new solo album.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a friend of yours.
No, I have no idea who she is, but I'm sure she's a great singer.
Not as good as Sarah, though. Sarah is finally going to work on those songs because I sent her pics the other day, so she's happy.
Oh, yeah. No, Sarah's a great singer. I like the way she definitely has a different alternative kind of style to her. It's very cool. I like the what she does to our songs.
How do you like your coffee?
I like it with cream and sugar. And Dunkin' Donuts, I saw something the other day. I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee better than the other coffee.
Let's see. What cigarettes do you smoke? We went through that. What cities do you most like to play in?
What city do I most like to play in? I love to play in LA or San Diego. Anywhere that's 40 miles away from my little Cameron. Because I know every time, the best city is, what is it there? With Disneyland and stuff in LA. It's, I forget. But anyways, yeah, wherever that's at, that's the best place to play because you have Mickey Mouse, you have your kid, and then you have a rock show that night.
Speaking of kids, do you plan on having any more children now that you're married?
Totally taking a fifth on that.
Should we get you on camera?
Mm-hmm.
Did you teach yourself to play piano?
Yes, which was probably not a great thing. I should have probably taken lessons. I'd be a way better piano player. And the same thing with guitar. I taught myself how to play everything. So I was totally anti-lessons and anti-teaching of music. So I just wanted everything that comes from me to kind of be real, even if it's not right. And as long as it sounds right, I think it's right. So. Not saying anything against people taking lessons. I think that's definitely a valuable thing, and I probably should have done that. And I may be better now than I, am. So,
Why do you prefer Gibson SGs over other guitars?
Well, first of all, because they're the coolest shaped guitar of all time. I mean, it's got like devil horns on it and stuff. And Angus Young played them when I was a kid, so. And the thing I like about SGs really is that they have that great deep killer sound, but they're very thin and they're light. They're not. I hate heavy guitars like Les Pauls and the heavier Taylors. They're just like a big dead weight on you the whole time. I like the light weight of the SG and the cool sound it has.
Random fans spot you out and about, even though you say you don't leave the house, you leave, or something?
Yeah, I think every time I leave the house down in Florida, it seems, there's always somebody that comes up and says something. So it happens quite a bit.
Is there an instrument you've always wanted to learn to play but never have?
No. Drums. I'm really bad at drums, but I've always wanted to play drums.
Alright, speaking of drums, what did you think about Dave Grohl's speech to the Grammys?
Who's Dave Grohl? What's the Grammys?
He's a female singer on Sully Erne's new solo album.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see the Grammys.
He gave a good speech about pretty much all the processed garbage that there is out there right now, and how he did his band in his garage, and kind of went on a little rant, and he kind of backed to the run and apologized for a couple days later, but I guess you didn't hear it.
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay. Do you fight with or against the Foo? Do you like the Foo Fighters?
No, I totally like the Foo. Dave Grohl actually came and hung out with us when we were doing 13 Ways to Bleed on stage in Seattle. Adam Kasper had recorded the last Nirvana recordings, our producer. And so Dave had come to hang out with us that day, and then I think everybody went out and partied that night, and they came back again the next day to take us to a big show they were doing with like No Doubt, and I think Stain played with them. But yeah, super sweet guys. Him and Chris Novoselic came and were part of 13 Ways with us. It's a good memory.
All right, well, it's been about an hour. You want to start wrapping it up, Scooter? You want to keep going? Still got questions coming?
Let's do a couple more questions, man, and then we'll roll out. But what do you guys think about doing this? Like, we were talking about doing it every week, every other week, so I'm like, that is this cool? I don't even know if this is cool. It's incredible, it's awesome, cool as hell. Alright, well, I guess that's a yes. So, yeah, we'll start doing this. And that'd be a better way for me to update everybody, I think. And I'm just so not good with the typing and texting on Facebook, it seems that I want to do it, but I just don't. So.
People always say something personal when you take your Facebook page down, like you ban it, but you have to explain that it's just...
No, I know. Whenever I deactivate my Facebook, whenever you guys all of a sudden don't see me on there, it's basically just so I deactivate it so I feel compelled to go to it when it's activated. And sometimes when I'm writing new music and stuff like that, I want to just get away and not, you know, have to worry about answering and responding and adding friends and all that stuff. I just focus on music, so I kind of deactivate it just so there's no option for me to do that. What's the answer about Snowblind? What do you guys want to know about it?
People coming in late, just what's going on with it.
Oh, next record, Snowblind.
And the videos come out this week.
The lyrics, there are no lyrics for Snowblind. The thing with Snowblind, as with every Cold song, when I first start doing it, and until it gets recorded, until the day it's recorded in the studio, the lyrics never stick. Like, basically, Snowblind, every version is probably different on YouTube because I get up each night and pretty much freestyle the whole song. The choruses basically stay the same, but the lyrics and the endings and the bridges always change. So, is Sprung Monkey even a band anymore? No guys on Cold songs. I think that's weird. Men and men collaborating like me and Aaron. You know, that was the last of that happening, I think. So, are we good, guys? Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah, glad we got to do this.
Maybe after the video hits next week, people will have some questions.
Yep, and you guys keep tuned. Vivo wants to premiere the the American Dream video. They're supposed to do it this week or next week. They're not giving us a certain date, so it's kind of like a thing where it'll just pop up on there and it's ready to go. So as soon as it does, we'll notify everybody for sure. But you know, until then, sign off from Jacksonville, Florida. Take it easy.